We have stunning developments out of Gwinnett County, Georgia. A dramatic midnight raid by a joint FBI and ICE task force on what authorities are calling
February 14th, 2024, 5:47 a.m. Fairfax County, Virginia. The sun hasn't risen yet. 14 black Chevrolet Suburbans idle in the parking lot of a strip mall on Route 50, engines running, headlights off. Inside each vehicle, federal agents and tactical gear review laminated photographs of entry points, exit routes, and faces. The faces belong to women, not suspects. Victims. At precisely 5:52 a.m., Special Agent in Charge Dana Kowalski keys her radio. One word. Execute. Simultaneously, across 7 states and the District of Columbia, 412 federal agents move on 45 locations. The operation has been designated Jade Lantern. It is the largest coordinated anti-trafficking raid in the eastern United States in over a decade. But here is what makes this operation different from every raid that came before it. The person at the center of this criminal empire is not a shadowy underworld figure, not a cartel boss operating from another country, not a faceless syndicate leader communicating through encrypted channels. She is a licensed businesswoman, a Chamber of Commerce member, a donor to local police benevolent associations, a woman who shook hands with city council members at ribbon-cutting ceremonies and posted photographs of those handshakes on the websites of her 45 wellness centers. Her name is Mei Ling Sun. She is 53 years old. She holds a degree in business administration from George Mason University. She files her taxes on time. She drives a white Mercedes-Benz Glell and lives in a 4-bedroom colonial in McLean, Virginia, assessed at $1.7 million. And for 11 years, she has operated one of the most sophisticated human trafficking networks ever uncovered on American soil. The investigation begins not with a tip, not with a whistleblower, but with an accounting error. In September 2022, an analyst at the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network flags an unusual pattern in suspicious activity reports filed by 3 regional banks. 45 businesses, all registered as massage therapy or wellness service providers, are collectively depositing between $8.2 million and $9.6 million annually. The businesses are spread across Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Georgia. Each one deposits just under $10,000 per transaction, the federal reporting threshold. They do this with mechanical regularity. Every Monday. Every Thursday. Never on holidays. The pattern is textbook structuring. But the scale is extraordinary. FinCEN forwards the report to the FBI's Human Trafficking Task Force in Washington, D.C. 2 agents are assigned. Within a week, they request 12 more. What they find, buried in layers of shell corporations, nominee accounts, and meticulously fabricated paperwork, is a machine built to move human beings like inventory and money like water. The network operates on a rotation system. Women, primarily Chinese and Vietnamese nationals between the ages of 19 and 41, are moved between locations every 2 to 3 weeks. They never stay in one place long enough to form connections with local residents, learn the surrounding geography, or build trust with anyone outside the operation. Agents will later discover that each woman is transported in vehicles registered to a fleet management company called Horizon Staffing Solutions, LLC. Horizon Staffing Solutions has no employees. It has no clients. It exists solely to hold the titles of 22 white Ford Transit vans. Those vans carry women from state to state on routes optimized to avoid toll plazas with cameras. The women arrive in the United States through a web of visa fraud. Some enter on B1, B2 tourist visas obtained with fraudulent invitation letters from front companies. Others arrive on student visas to language schools that exist only on paper. A smaller number are smuggled across the southern border and transferred to the network through intermediaries in Houston and Atlanta. Upon arrival, a debt is imposed. Between $40,000 and $60,000 per woman. For travel, for documentation, for housing, for food. The debt is fictional, but the enforcement is real. Women are told their families in their home countries will face consequences for non-payment. Some are shown photographs of their parents' homes, taken from the street, sent by associates overseas. The message requires no translation. They work 16 to 18 hours a day. Seven days a week. They sleep on cots in back rooms or in rented apartments stacked 4 to a bedroom, apartments leased under names they've never seen. They are permitted 1 meal break. They receive no wages. Every dollar they generate flows upward through the network's financial architecture and into accounts controlled by Mei Ling Sun and her inner circle. Agents estimate total revenue over the 11-year operation at between $87 million and $104 million. The investigation expands through 2023. Surveillance teams log thousands of hours. Undercover agents visit 17 of the 45 locations posing as customers. What they document is methodical and disturbing. Each location follows an identical operational template. The storefront presents as a legitimate wellness center. Certificates hang on the walls. Business licenses are displayed prominently. A receptionist greets walk-in clients with a printed menu of services: Swedish massage, deep tissue, hot stone therapy. Prices are reasonable. Reviews on Google and Yelp are overwhelmingly positive, many of them fabricated by a digital marketing firm in Queens, New York, paid $3,200 per month to maintain the illusion. Behind the reception area, the reality fractures. Agents document rooms with no ventilation, no windows, and deadbolts installed on the outside of doors. They recover ledgers written in Mandarin that track individual women by number, not name, logging the services they performed and the payments collected. The ledgers assign quotas. Women who fail to meet quotas are moved to higher volume locations. Women who resist are subjected to escalating punishment. Federal prosecutors will later present evidence of women confined to rooms for days without food. Women whose identification documents are locked in a safe to which only Mei Ling Sun holds the combination. In one location in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, agents find a laminated instruction sheet taped to the inside of a supply closet. Printed in Vietnamese and simplified Chinese, it provides specific language for women to use if questioned by police. They are to say they are independent contractors. They are to say they work voluntarily. They are to provide a phone number that routes to an answering service in Rockville, Maryland, where an operator confirms their cover story. That answering service is another shell company. It costs $400 a month to operate. It exists to make slavery look like employment. The financial architecture alone takes forensic accountants 7 months to unravel. Revenue flows from the 45 locations into 14 separate bank accounts held by 9 LLCs. From there, funds are transferred to 3 holding companies. Those holding companies make payments to a real estate investment trust controlled by Sun's brother-in-law, David Chow, a licensed real estate agent in Fairfax County. Chow purchases residential properties, 16 of them over 8 years, all in cash or near-cash transactions, all in the names of entities that trace back, through 4 or 5 layers of corporate structure, to Mei Ling Sun. The properties serve dual purposes. Some house-trafficked women. Others are rented at market rate to generate legitimate income that further obscures the illicit revenue. Tax returns filed for the network's businesses are works of fiction, prepared by an accountant named Gerald Ferraro, operating out of a one-room office in Tysons Corner, Virginia. Ferraro charges Sun $175,000 annually for his services. He has been filing fraudulent returns for the network since 2015. Federal agents also discover wire transfers totaling $2.3 million sent over 6 years to accounts in Fujian Province, China, and Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. These payments fund the recruitment pipeline. Associates in both countries identify vulnerable women, promise them legitimate employment in American spas and wellness centers, and arrange their transportation. The pipeline is continuous. When a woman ages out, escapes, or becomes too physically broken to work, a replacement is already in transit. February 14th, 2024. 5:52 a.m. The raids are synchronized to the minute. Federal agents breach front doors and back doors simultaneously. They carry warrants for 45 business locations, 16 residential properties, 3 storage units, and 1 safe deposit box at a Wells Fargo branch in Arlington, Virginia. At the flagship location in Falls Church, agents encounter Mei Ling Sun in her second-floor office above the spa. She is seated at her desk. On the desk is a laptop, 2 cell phones, and a half-finished cup of tea. She does not resist. She does not speak. She places her hands on the desk and waits. In the rooms below her, agents find 11 women. 3 of them do not know what state they are in. Across all 45 locations, 88 women are recovered that morning. 88 human beings extracted from conditions that federal prosecutors will characterize as modern slavery. Victim advocates from the Department of Health and Human Services are on site at every location before 7 a.m. Translators in Mandarin, Cantonese, Vietnamese, and Korean are present. Medical personnel conduct preliminary assessments. Many of the women have not seen a doctor in years. 23 individuals are arrested that morning. Mei Ling Sun, David Chow, Gerald Ferraro, 3 location managers, 6 drivers, 4 recruiters apprehended in coordinated operations by ICE Homeland Security investigations, 6 additional associates arrested on outstanding warrants related to money laundering, visa fraud, and obstruction of justice. The indictment is unsealed on February 16, 2024. It runs 127 pages. It contains 41 counts. Conspiracy to commit sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. Sex trafficking of persons by force, fraud, and coercion. Forced labor. Document servitude. Money laundering. Structuring financial transactions to evade reporting requirements. Wire fraud. Tax evasion. Conspiracy to commit visa fraud. Harboring illegal aliens for commercial advantage. At the press conference, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Jessica Auber, stands behind a podium flanked by representatives from the FBI, ICE-Psy, EARS Criminal Investigation, and the Department of Labor. This case represents one of the most extensive and deliberately concealed human trafficking operations we have ever prosecuted. Auber states, the defendant Mei Ling Sun did not hide in the shadows. She hid in plain sight. She used the structures of legitimate commerce as camouflage for systematic human exploitation. She weaponized the complexity of our financial system and the assumptions we make about lawful businesses to keep 88 women in conditions of servitude. FBI Assistant Director Michael Nordwall adds a single sentence that will be quoted in every subsequent news report. She didn't just break the law, she built a machine that consumed people. In the months following the raids, the scope of complicity becomes clearer and more troubling. Investigators discovered that local code enforcement had visited 12 of the 45 locations over the previous 5 years for various violations. Nothing was escalated. Online review platforms had removed dozens of reviews flagging suspicious activity at multiple locations. Those flags were treated as disputes between competitors, not as indicators of criminal enterprise. The women who are freed face their own difficult road. 71 are eventually granted T visas, the federal immigration protection for victims of trafficking. 14 remain in removal proceedings as of the most recent court filings. 3 have voluntarily returned to their home countries, their futures uncertain. Victim impact statements filed with the court describe years of isolation, deprivation, and coercion. One woman, identified in court documents only as Jane Doe 14, states through a translator, "I forgot what it felt like to choose. To choose when to eat, when to sleep, when to stop. I forgot that choosing was something a person could do." Mei Ling Sun's trial is scheduled for October 2024. If convicted on all counts, she faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years and a statutory maximum of life imprisonment. David Chow and Gerald Ferraro have entered plea negotiations. 14 of the 23 arrested defendants have pleaded guilty to various charges as of this writing. Asset forfeiture proceedings have been initiated against $14.2 million in real estate, vehicles, bank accounts, and personal property linked to the network. 45 storefronts, open for business, some of them for more than a decade. Visible on Google Maps. Listed on Yelp. Reviewed on Facebook. Accepting credit cards. filing tax returns, operating in strip malls and shopping centers where Americans bought groceries and dropped off dry cleaning and never looked twice at the door with the neon open sign. Behind every one of those doors, someone was waiting to be found. Consider that the next time you drive past a strip mall on a suburban highway. Consider what operates behind tinted glass and printed menus and 5-star reviews. Consider that trafficking in America does not look like the movies told you it would look. It looks ordinary. It looks like a business. It files quarterly taxes and puts a wreath on the door in December. 88 women are free today because an analyst noticed a pattern in bank deposits. The question that should keep every one of us awake tonight is simple. How many patterns are we still not seeing?